Have I got something fun to cook with now? This is a huge tentacle from a gorgeous South Australian octopus. This is 1.5 kilograms, and my fishmonger Manny got this for me this morning. I couldn't resist. I have to show you how to cook it two ways. First, I'll poach it and then char grill it with some beautiful potatoes. In a pot, so a medium to large pot, I've just been boiling some water. This is about 1.5 litres of water. Into the pot, I'll add some white wine along with some red wine vinegar. You need quite a lot of red wine vinegar for this. Also some peppercorns, about 10 peppercorns, and then a few bay leaves and some thyme, so some aromatics to flavour this water. Now it'll come back to the boil and we can add this large tentacle into the water. So just get that in there very carefully, place it in. Now this is going to come back up to the boil, then I'll turn it down, pop the lid on and then cook it for 1 hour, then cool it completely in the pot with all the liquid so it really absorbs all the flavour from the white wine and the vinegar. Now for a little marinade to go onto the octopus and the potatoes before it gets char grilled. In a mortar and pestle, I want to grind a few coriander seeds, and I've just toasted these coriander seeds to extract as much flavour out of them as possible. So into a mortar and pestle and grind them up until they're crushed roughly. That looks pretty good. Okay, now this goes into a bowl. So we'll just toss that in there, along with the zest of 1 whole lemon. At this stage, we can season with a little bit of salt and then a little bit of garlic, 2 to 3 cloves of garlic. It is going to be char grilled, so instead of finely mincing it, ideally I just want to crush it and then slice it. So just going into the bowl to flavour. And then to make this really special, I'm using a really good quality, robust olive oil. You need quite a lot of olive oil for this because it needs to marinate in the oil. We need about ½ a cup. Perfect. Now we can add a good handful of our potatoes into the marinade, along with our hero here, which is the gorgeous octopus. I'll drain it out of the water. And then I'll just separate the tentacles, and then I'll just tidy up the last little end of them, little chef's treats over here. And then I'll cut them roughly into the same size as the potatoes, so 3 to 4 centimetres, little cylinders. And then don't forget the little tentacles right at the end. For me, this is my favourite part because when you put that on the grill, it goes really, really crunchy and crispy. So I'll leave that a little longer and I'll cut this one in a few bits. Now that can go into our olive oil marinade with our potatoes. And then you know what? Get your hands into this marinade, toss it all together, making sure everything is coated. And then now we'll add the potatoes along with our octopus. And we can do this in batches and cook them until we've got a little bit of colour on both the potatoes and the octopus, and then I'll remove them and pop them in another bowl so I can finish off the salad. Now to finish this off, I'll add a little bit more of this marinade, and it's okay if a little bit of that garlic goes in, and then that fresh lemon juice that I was talking about, a good squeeze of that over the top. That'll really freshen the whole thing up. And then for some extra freshness, I love the addition of some fennel. So what I'm going to do is just use a mandolin to finely slice little thin pieces of crunchy fennel. You could use some cucumber here if you like. Some tomatoes would be beautiful for this recipe. It is a salad after all, so you can be a little adventurous of what you add. The main thing though is don't add too much to it because the hero here is the potatoes and that octopus. So just a small handful, break it up between your fingers. And the last thing I love to add are some Ligurian olives. I'll add them and then we'll just give this one final toss just with some tongs. Mix all that through, and then I like to add a little bit of fresh extra virgin olive oil to finish it off. Perfect. And I'm serving this salad on a very Greek-inspired plate. I'll just grab a large spoon so we can serve a generous amount of this salad in the middle. Don't forget all those gorgeous little pieces of octopus, especially my favourite part, the curly tentacle. And there you have it. That looks perfect, but I'll just finish it off with some of these fennel fronds. I don't want them to go to waste. They taste great. They've got that lovely aniseed flavour. Just sprinkle them over the top. A little wedge of lemon on the side. You know what? I'm going to have a taste of that little tentacle. That is so yum. Soft in the centre, crunchy on the outside. You know what they say in Greece? Nostimo, which means delicious.